Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. It's in the description below. It is your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any Watchbox platform. Please reach out to me directly for pricing. Email tmosso@thewatchbox.com. Today, we're discussing a watch launched as a 99-piece stainless steel limited edition in 2017. This is the Ulysse Nardin Classic Dual Time Boutique Edition with Granfo enamel dial. There are a few differences between this and the standard dual time enamel that came out that same year. The standard watch features a bright white dial with blue features such as numerals, for example, and hands, and it has a blue alligator leather strap. This one features a lovely eggshell enamel dial with black detailing and a wonderful minimally tanned calfskin strap. So the watch, a 99-piece individually numbered limited edition, is 42 millimeters in diameter in steel, 13.3 millimeters thick, and from lug tip to lug tip, 49 millimeters, with a 21 millimeter spacing between the lugs. We'll throw it on my wrist. My wrist is 16 centimeters in circumference, an oval in cross section. It actually wears quite large, and a lot of that's down to the way the strap interacts with the case. More on that in a moment. The lugs themselves are not offensive. They're broad, but not excessively so, and they're curved, which mitigates against some fit issues. But on this strap, I'm going to recommend this watch for a wrist of 16 centimeters circumference or larger. That said, it's not all that thick. Under 14 millimeters, heck, under 13.5 millimeters is impressive given the number of features, and it does have a sloped case flank to slide underneath the cuff. Now, the strap. See how it mates to the case? One is flush to the other. That means it doesn't have a lot of mobility, and its degrees of articulation are limited by its flexibility rather than the pivot of a spring bar. And so even pulling it straight down, it's going to want to flare out on each side, which adds virtual span across the wrist. But it is a beautiful strap and an expensive strap. Thick cut of high-grade calfskin, light brown, minimally tan, showing a lot of the underlying imperfections in the animal hide. I appreciate that. Also, the close coupled and conforming look looks very slick and integrated. We have a contrasting stitch that's matched the color of the dial, and a steel deployant clasp, double deployant clasp that you can see right here, is media blasted and polished, and it has ceramic pin snaps to ensure that the tolerances remain snappy over time since the steel can't wear down the ceramic. Also, you can see the swing arm on the other side doubles as a spring system for the twin trigger release, so it cannot accidentally pop open. You must press both of those triggers. Close up that clasp, we'll bounce back to the case. You can see that the lugs are impressively broken out from the case band, and this is so sharp, it may be a rare example of welded lug construction on a steel case. That is a hugely severe break between lug and case, and you can see that the lug profile is really complex as there's a dished inward concave slant to the lug. When you view it from the side, you can really see the nuance of its contouring. A lot of thought went into the design and execution of this case. We have tapered lugs that end in a sort of teardrop profile. They have little fluted shoulders. They don't look quite as massive. We have a bezel that is broken out from the case band. It has a little bit of an upward step or flange, and then it's conical in profile all the way around. You can see we have a satinated, individually numbered plate on the flank, harking back to the era of Ulysse Nardin marine chronometers, navigation clocks for ships that would have been built in the 19th and early 20th century, and those would have had little blued bolt-fixed number plates on the side, just as this does. Here's a system derived from the original GMT plus-minus San Marco model of the early 90s. It is a system that allows you to adjust the local time using these plus-minus systems while displaying in 24-hour format a secondary time zone over at 9 o'clock. So what you do is first you set the time, and by the way, we have a multifunction crown. This crown does not pull out like a Richard Mille. You change the function by toggling the indicator using the crown and a column wheel internally. So what happens here is now that I'm in time setting mode, you can see how it is a quasi-jump hour in 24-hour format. You can adjust it both ways, and it will go all the way up to 24, so it recycles once a day, whereas the local hour hand goes around the dial twice a day. Let's turn this back for a second. Now, the watch has a lot more going on. First, you can see that in this, the stop seconds mode, you activate hacking by putting it in time setting mode. So it does have hacking seconds. Now, if I put it in winding mode, you could see that it resumes keeping time. The watch continues ticking. Hacking is done. Now I can wind the watch all I want, or I can change the date. And by the way, this is a bidirectionally quick settable date derived from the UN perpetual calendar system derived by Ludwig Oxlin from Vatican clocks. That's right, the Ulysse Nardin perpetual calendar system was derived from clocks that Oxlin restored at the Vatican, and then this bidirectional big date with quickset was derived from Oxlin's perpetual calendar system. Now, what makes this different from the standard version of the watch that came out in 2017 is that we have black printing, black hands, and a dial with a distinct eggshell off-white cream color to it. It is enamel Grand Faux, so up to 20 firings at 800 degrees centigrade, finished by hand, and Ulysse Nardin in 2012 bought a company called Donze Cadran, which is a specialist in enamel dialing. So now UN, one of the few companies in the industry that has the ability to do enamel in-house, and the quality of the surfacing without roughness or orange peel really shines through right here. Turn it all over. You can see it's 30 meters water resistant, so don't take it swimming. We have Ulysse Nardin caliber 324 in here. It's automatic winding with a 48-hour power reserve. It uses a magic lever style pawl-based winding system. It's braced against shock properly like a sports watch movement with a dual anchored balance bridge and a free sprung balance. And then it uses UN's proprietary silicon technology. They bought their silicon partner Sigitech back in 2006. So UN's able to make its own silicon in-house, which is something no other brand of its size in the industry can do. So we have a silicon escapement that operates with low friction, minimal vulnerability to temperature changes, no need for lubrication, and it's anti-magnetic. We also have an anti-magnetic silicon hairspring here, so this is a very resilient watch. You can see we have a white gold rotor with several different finishes, including a lacquered inlay of the UN anchor logo. All this beats away at 4 hertz or 8 beats per second and pivots on 53 joules. It is a formidably complex machine and beautifully decorated, though mostly mechanical. It's done neatly and handsomely in a way that makes the display case back truly worthwhile. And one of my favorite details here, if you look on the flank, you can see that we have these fired bolts that are used to fix the number plate. But if you look on the reverse side, you can see that the bolts, or the flathead screws used to fix the case back, have also been fired to exactly the same tempered tone, a detail that I love. And we've got real fire blued screws on the movement itself. This is a watch from a brand that's once again independent, having been brought back to the world of independent horology by its management, which bought it from its group owner back in 2022. There are bright things ahead for Ulysse Nardin. Reach out to Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details.